negotiating salary and benefits, I think, is not necessarily focused on like the negotiating part. I think there's elements to that which what tip we could give of negotiating how to get more salary and all that type of stuff. But the important thing for me, putting my financial hat on, is actually understanding what you're getting paid.
Yes.
So far too often, I've had this initial meetings. Someone comes in, they ahead of time before a meeting, they've sent through how much they're getting paid, and I jump on, quick pay calculator, have a look. They tell me they're on 85K a year. What they tell me they're earning take home a week, numbers don't add up. We sit down and be like, hey, can you just confirm getting paid 85K a year? So I kept like getting paid 85. That's what I negotiated. But I was like, what are you getting in your bank account net after tax doesn't add up to 85K a year. What do you mean? So I jump on and show them, including or excluding super. This is one that far too often affects people. They negotiate, and that's such a big part of, okay, current job is I'm paying 80K a year, new job's offering 85. And then you read the fine print, it's like, yeah, 85, including superannuation.
So that's 10%. So it's 78.
So it's less.
Yeah.
And then what they thought, they just spent this whole process, they've moved and they get to the new job and they're like, oh, I'm actually getting paid less, which is fine if you love your job and whatever.
Yeah.
But most times people are moving to a job because they're either getting paid the same or get paid more, but they ever get to read the contract.
Yeah.
And what they're getting take home is less.
Yeah, totally. We had that same instance at one of my previous workplaces where I'll share this with you. It was at Seaward Cruises, and my contract initially, what was discussed with one of the owners was that I would be on 65 grand a year. That was the set terms. There was a verbal agreement, and then I rocked up to the interview and the contract said 55. And I went, excuse me, this needs to be changed. And I wasn't afraid to be honest because I was working at the hood anyway. So if they kicked me, I didn't care. But I gave them the contract and said, oh, I just want to confirm that this is 65,000. He goes, no, it's 55. And I said, no, it's got to be 65. Can't take the job unless 65. Because no, it's 55, but we paid you super. And I'm just like, how much is that a week? And it was more than what I was getting paid at the time. And to be honest, I did need the opportunity. But if you're not switched on to that, like I was, then you'll just sign away. And I think that's what a lot of people do, is they just sign away and then they go, well, hang on, where's my 65 grand a year? You get 55 grand a year. You don't get to touch the other 10.
Super. Yeah.
Or 10%, whatever it was. 50 grand, whatever. So that's one thing I can say is you need to be onto it. And with my experience, had I not said that, I wouldn't have had that understanding. So now moving forward, if I go and apply for another job and it says 100 grand super not included, then I know I'm only getting paid 90 grand, which is still pretty good. But another thing you'll see on Seek is there might be opportunity for commission. There might be bonuses included. There might be a car, laptop, travel. So taking all those things into consideration, the sum figure isn't just part of negotiation. Yeah, okay. I'm getting paid 55 grand a year, but they gave me a car, they gave me a laptop, all travel expenses have been paid for, and super was paid. So I was happy. But at other jobs, they might not even give you the chance to negotiate. They might just say, here it is, take it or leave it. I don't know if that ties in with what you're talking about.
No, definitely. Far too often from my side of clients, we go through this process. I want to change, or I am changing. Can we compare the salary? And it's exactly that. That's so far too often people just compare the headline salary, 100K versus 90K. I'm going to take the 100K job. And there was a travel, all that kind of stuff, but then allowances that come into it as well. So under the 90K job, there's no allowances, maybe included super, maybe it didn't really matter. Under the 100K, it's 100K plus you get a car allowance, plus you get your phone, plus the travel, plus commission, all that other stuff adds up. That's like your current job, you're having to pay your own fuel, you're paying your own car, all that kind of stuff. So there's so much else that comes into it that unfortunately a lot of people just look at the headline rate. I'm offering you 90. I'm offering you 100. I'll take the 100. Thanks for coming. And then it's not until the first paycheck, you've just gone through the whole move, you've quit, all that kind of stuff. And you get there without reading the fine print and you're like, oh shit.
Do people actually do that?
Unfortunately.
Listen to this podcast. It'll save you 40 grand.
Unfortunately. So yeah, so negotiating, that type of thing, we could probably leave for another day, but it's just understanding, as you raised a good point, was understanding what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do, clearly reading the contract, understanding what you're going to get paid, the roles, responsibilities, the expectations, the culture's a hard one to know unless you know someone working there. It's hard to be like, hey, in the job interview, you can ask that question, am I expected to work overtime? Yeah. But you're not going to know until you're a couple of weeks in, oh, this is the expectation and it's 5 o'clock, I'm ready to go home, but everyone's still sitting at their desk working until 6, 7.
Not me. Ta-ta. See you tomorrow.